Hello, YouTube Nation. Welcome back for a Sunday morning toys and coffee. I'm Jeremy. Hope everybody is having a fantastic Sunday morning. This video is going to be a little bit different. Not really a review, not really talking about much, but what we are going to do is look over the purchases from the 127 yard sale. All right, so some of you all may be wondering, Jeremy, what is the 127 yard sale? The 127 yard sale is the world's largest yard sale. Let me actually bring this up here just so I can get the states correct. Let's see here. 127 yard sale. It has a website, everything. The 127 yard sales, the world's largest yard sale. It's 690 miles long. Okay, 6 states. So 700 miles, 6 states. It goes through Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, and ends in Alabama. That is a heck of a yard sale. I did not go that far. I went not very far at all. And I normally, when I go, I only do get a certain amount of mileage in. There are just spots. So if you can imagine, it's not the typical yard sale. It is not the yard sale of like go to a garage or anything like that. It is fields. So if you could imagine, if you've ever been to a event, concert, or a sporting thing, if you ever parked in a field and they have, rows and rows and rows of just people parking, that's what this is. This is an absolute what would it be? Probably 10 vendors is a short and is a small one, to where 50, 60 to 100 in one field is also the good ones. There is also the neighborhoods or the houses that you can hit. I don't really do those. I do hit the open ones because it's just people trying to get rid of stuff, and that's really what I want to get. I like people that's getting rid of stuff. I don't want to talk to vendors because they're trying to make money. Everybody's trying to make money, but I want to take their stuff from them, if you will. So let's start off. First little package that we got some Power Ranger stuff. So here is, and again, I don't know much about Power Rangers. I do Power Rangers so I can either A, trade them, B, sell them so I can get what I want later on in life. So that's where I am with this. So villain, I know he's one of the bad guys, but I got that guy right there. He looks to have kind of a wing and an arm, kind of a flappy thing. This one little thing up here, I really like this little thing that's up here. Kind of makes me laugh. But that's, Power Ranger number 1. Got this guy here who is all jacked up. I am assuming I'm missing a piece that goes this. These were all in a lot that did this. So he goes in here, he becomes, I don't know, an anteater or something. But I'm sure if I haven't Googled it, haven't figured it out of what to do or how to do this. But I did notice that it's missing something. So good part, person, put it in the box and go. And then I did get the Megazord that looked, hey, look at that. That feels like it's a hard one. But we did get a complete, somewhat Zord. Got the chest piece, I think that's the elephant, and tiger, and mammoth, and triceratops. Looks good. I mean, it's a cool little shelf looking deal. I think I'll be able to do something with that to be able to get something out of the world. again, like I said, I'm not much of a Power Ranger kid. I didn't watch the cartoons. My students love it, and I have them watch it at school when we have breaks and stuff. But I do enjoy the toys of how they're a transforming thing. I just don't get the kind of anime-ish style to it, and I never did it as a kid because anime wasn't as popular when I was a kid, or at least in my area, as it was. Next, I got a transformer that I don't know how to transform. Again, it just comes, this is what it looks like. I know it's a Beast Wars type Transformers. I am, again, not all that well knowledged in the Transformer world. Let's see if we can't. I feel like we got something cooking here. Who knows what it is? I know it's broken. I know that's what we got, but it's kind of cool. We'll figure that one out as well. The real big purchases that I got this week from the 127 was I bought, I'm going to call it a collection. I'm not so sure it's a collection, but we got a wrestling lot. Got some that were in the package, got some that were loose, got some that were broken, got some older stuff, got some not so older stuff. So the first thing that comes out of this is the world's most terrible Stone Cold. Hey, Paul, how are you, buddy? Had to watch this scene. Some of these older Transformers, they're nuts. I can't, or not older, I guess. The newer stuff, I feel like you have to have a degree in something to get them. But I'll have to watch something. I'm sure somebody out there has them transformed. One of the lots, so this is what caught my eye. The Popeye, the Sailor Man, Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is a Jakks Pacific, kind of a wrestling buddy kind of thing. He does have a hard head, hard boots, and a hard fist, hard hand kind of a thing. I think it's ugly as all get out. I think that is a terrible looking one, but he's part of the lot. So got that guy. I did get, in my opinion, in this lot, I'm not going to save it for last. I'm going to kind of go through when they're together or whatnot. So this, I think, back in my day with the wrestling buddies, I got a wrestling buddy in this lot, which was really cool. And I got the Macho King, Randy Savage. He's a little dirty. He does not stink. He wasn't from a smoke home. This was my favorite wrestling buddy as a kid. I had this one, I had Hogan, and I had the Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior one, I beat the poo out of. Beat the poo out of it. But this one looks to be, I don't know, what year was these things? In the 90s or 80s? The tag's too faded. I can't see anything on it. I'm going to say it's probably 90s. But I love that the crown's on. He's got the glasses. He's got the tape that's taped up. This has more detail in it than the actual figures the Hasbro's did. The yellow boots and the purple trunks, and it does say Macho King on the back, which is cool. Like I said, a little dirty. I think I can clean him up. I do have a warrior that wasn't mine when I was a kid, so I can't wait to put him next to my warrior wrestling buddy, which these things, I didn't realize how much these things cost. I got a deal on these things, of course, but man, I really would like to have the collection of these, but talk about spending some money. The next thing I got belt-wise, which is kind of cool, is I've got a vintage Winged Eagle belt that was for the kids, and this one, weirdly enough, was never used, because if you ever had these as a kid, there was Velcro that came with them. And these little kind of tabs were your extra large, large, medium, small, and you would put it on there and you would tape it, and then that would be your waist to go. Now, I'm not a very big dude, but I'm also not very little. But that thing is, I'm gonna have to do some sit-ups to get into it. But It's a very clean, a very good looking, and it's a very just not beat up. It's almost like not used. This one was made in 2004, so it is one of the newer belts, but I think it does look very good. It'll display nice. This is my favorite world championship of all time. I'm a vintage guy. I love this world champion. I love the vintage IC championship, and I like the vintage tag team titles too. If those also weren't for $500, whatever they are, I would lock in and get something of those and display them. But I'll take the little spongy styrofoam belt. Champion. The neat thing about these is when I was a kid with my wrestling buddy, I had a little, I called them sandwich clips, but they were like a little thing with teeth that you could like clip onto a bag. I would clip it back here, and then Macho Man would, or whomever I had at the time, I didn't have him, but Hogan, more likely, would have had the championship belt that I had on him. So that's kind of those were kind of a cool two of them to find. Let's go next with the carded figures that were in this lot. Again, nothing of extreme excitedness, but they are some newer, just basic figures. We got Daniel Bryan. He was on the card. The kid was asking $5 a piece for these. I got him knocked down to $2 each for all of these. They are beat up. They are, and also I don't think this is very, I don't think this is very sought after, but it is a carded figure that was for a couple bucks. We got the 2014 Best of John Cena figure, which I thought was just a neat little thing. Again, got it for $2. And you're going to see this guy several times. The person I had really liked that mold of John Cena. Got WrestleMania Heritage Series. This is Randy Orton, the 25th anniversary time, which is kind of cool. Got some, for a basic figure, the detail of the tats are on there, and he's got that cool little smirk. I don't know if that'll come through on the camera, but I think that's a decent little pickup. And then this one, actually, I love this to pieces. It's kind of semi-open, but it was a 2-pack. He had $10 on this one. I got it for $2. But this is the WrestleMania Jeff Hardy versus Edge. This came out not too long ago. We have stores here around us. They're called TJ Maxx. They were kind of like a Kmart or Value City or something like that, if you've ever heard of those. These were in there a lot. You also had Seth and The Miz. You also had AJ and Shinsuke, and then this one as a 2-pack. But I do think they are fairly neat little toys. Good-looking molds, good-looking figures for them, just to kind of hang out and stay there. Okay. That's all the carded stuff. So now we've got, let me see if I can pick this dude up. This basket right here, which came with it, which is an interesting TJ Maxx. Well, cool. I'm glad it's around, and that's what it is elsewhere as well. So this had a hodgepodge of wrestling figures in it. I am not going to get all of these correct. I don't really know a lot about the different 90s, early 2000s. Actually, if it's not an elite or something or a basic, I kind of don't know what they're called or whatever they are. They are just a mixed bag of stuff, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Yes, that sounds Paul. That sounds just like the same as what we have. They would get a lot of actually. This thing. I bought that from there. The little G.I. Joe. Nope, I lied. This one was from Ollie's Trolleys, but it's kind of the same. But I've seen these type of things in there, like knockoff Legos and stuff like that. So here's the first one, and it's obviously that's the Big Show. I have no idea what this is called. I know maybe it's the Hunchback series, because for a 7-foot dude, he is all hunched over and not very big, but he does have the neat hands. Good kind of face sculpt. Kind of got a little worn. These are definitely worn and played with. These things have been beat around the bush a time or two. So there was that. We got the KO show t-shirt version of Kevin Owens. Not a bad figure. This is he's on this one. He's still only got one tat. He ain't all tatted up. Well, he does a second tattoo there, but he's not as tatted up as he is today. Let's see here. We got Shinsuke. This looks to be just a basic figure. Not too terrible. Not too terrible at all. Yeah, the KO is awesome. I can't wait to display it. This is actually one of my favorite eras of KO, even though he's had 7, 8 pretty decent runs with it. Let's see who this guy. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is some version of Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's no articulation on the legs or anything. It's kind of the mix between an LJN and a bone cruncher, if you will. But hey, there's a Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let's see. We got Dean Ambrose with the Gene and just the ready to go, the After the Shield version of him there. Just a regular basic figure of him. Let's see. Uh-oh. All right, we got a non-hairy George the Animal Steele. The person who I bought it from, or whoever they got it from, the remnants of the glue from the hairy chest from him is still on the figure. However, all the hair is not there. So I don't know. I may try to get some glue and put some fur on this dude at some point and do that. But I always loved George the Animal Steele. Green tongue. He had that little Care Bear looking guy, and I don't remember what his name was. I always remember him from the ice cream sandwiches that he would eat. He was always on those. We got a Ray. Now let's see. Nope, it's WWE. I didn't know if this was a WCW version of this or not, but it's Ray. He's got 619, got his logo on there, but just kind of a black hooded, really just kind of a generic plain Jane Rey Mysterio. We've got, here's the second of this you'll see. It's the same figure we had boxed, but we have the John Cena jeans, pants, good times. He doesn't get too fired up. This is a cool figure from the line. Does he have his? I think this may be around the list, maybe, of Chris Jericho. Came with his 2 knee pads, no elbow pads, but it does have Jericho. And if you could see on his trunks, it's the GOAT variant of his trunks. That's a real good head sculpt of Jericho. It looks really good. Then here's another kind of a weird, but I kind of dig this a whole lot. It's John Cena, but he looks like X-Men's Colossus. I'm sure this has some name. He's very cerebral. He's got a spine. I don't know if it's like a Terminator or whatever the case may be with this, but kind of X-Men Colossus. John Cena comes with a belt, does not come off. That is actually molded onto the figure. But I do think that's a fairly unique and cool looking John Cena figure. So that was kind of cool. I think we're going to I think these are called bone crunchers just because it's got that bone crunching activity. But we have Don't Trust Anybody. I'm assuming this is Stone Cold Steve Austin. It kind of looks like him. I don't remember him ever having that shirt, but maybe not. The prototype. That might be it. That's I could see that. Odd thing about OVW, Paul, is OVW is 15 minutes from my house. They still have stuff there today. We used to go all the time on Thursday nights, and I remember didn't know who they were, but we remember seeing like Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, Cena, all these people who are just huge right now. They were all over there, and when we played music a lot over in Louisville, we would see them out at shows and stuff. Didn't know who they were. We actually thought they were just U of L football players, local college, but they did look like adults. But that's who we thought. But kind of a neat thing that it is right across the river from us right there. So it's always kind of a neat little history bit of the OVW stuff. Let's get. I think I had 3 of these. Let's see if we can't find all 3 of them together. Yeah. So these are also, I believe, bone crunchers, which is cool. I'll tell you who Al Snow runs it. I see him around from time to time. He's there all the time. I don't know it like he's the face of it. When you see commercials of OVW right now, Al Snow is his face is all over it. He's the one doing like the local media and stuff to it. I don't know if he owns it or running it, but he's still over there. Next up in this little lot, I had some bone crunchers of DX. So, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, X-Pac, kind of neat looking figures. These, I never really got into these bone cruncher things. I was a Hasbro LJN kid, and then I just kind of grew up out of the toys when these were out. But looking back at them, they're pretty good looking. They're pretty detailed. These are the head sculpts and everything else. They're not. I've seen worse. That's for sure. And then there's Mr. BA. Probably will get in trouble if I say it. I got a ladder. Don't have a ring, but I got a ladder. Snow was good. I don't know what these are called, but they were the WCW LJN versions. So we have Hulk Hogan, kind of the mid-bendy, and then we have Ric Flair's mid-bendy. Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, they did a history on these guys not so long ago, and I didn't realize how many of these there were. They're not as big as the WWF ones were, but they are cool looking. And the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, but I don't know, it's something like that. They're coming out with bendies. I pre-ordered the Demolition. The Demolition they're my favorite tag team of all time. They looked legit awesome. I can't wait for those to come out later in the year. But I can add a Hogan. I can add a Flair. Hopefully they're kind of into scale with that. Let's see what's in this bag here. We got another Cena. Cena's it looks like he's getting a little bit more ripped in the belly on this one. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Is that his jacket? Nope. So I have a Randy Orton, and he's got AJ Styles jacket on. Do I have an AJ Styles is the question. Who's this? Nope. So hopefully in here I have an AJ Styles, but I don't remember seeing him when I was looking through it. So got an Orton all tatted up. He's very his head's backwards and stuff. Well, the jacket's on backwards. That's why it's all looking wonk. So a neat looking Orton, not doing that. I'll make sure to uncap him here in a second, and you'll be able to see him a whole lot better. Let's see who this guy is. Evan Bourne? Is that Evan Bourne? Is that Paul? You know this dude? Looks like Davey Boy Smith to me, but it's not. He's got some cool trunks, kind of a thing there. Got like a fighter pilot. Looks like Top Gun-ish kind of stuff, but I have no recollection of who that guy is at all. But I'll have to look him up and see. That cool looking guy. We got another Rey Mysterio. This one in white trunks and white mask. Got the 619. Got the logo. Got the hands of Andre the Giant. Good Lord Almighty. You would, if figures were scaled correctly with that hand, you would think Rey Mysterio was about 7'3". Huh. Interesting. And then in this bag, I guess that's Bray, I think. Yeah, that's Bray. Early Bray, which is kind of cool. He's got the doves on the pants and set it up and got the angel shirt on. So that's kind of a cool little thing. We're getting to the bottom of it. All right, here you go, Paul, real quick. Hope you can see that one because it's the same thing as it's been 4 times through again. There's another Cena, same mold, same paint, same everything else. This one I kind of dug, but it's broken. So it's a CM Punk figure. I do not know if that crown came with him or if somebody just added. It does come off. It looks like the Harley Race Haku crown, which is kind of cool to the knot. I mean, it fits him pretty well. But he's got no hand and he's got no fingers. So he got a whiteout on his chest. So he took a bad little beating there. Would look like a cool little figure if he had some hands, but at least there's a crown I could use with something or somebody, which would be cool. All right. The man, the myth, the legend. Stardust in kind of gold dust attire. So Cody's little run from now till then is looking pretty good, and he had a SummerSlam match last night that no spoilers are given here, but I'm glad Cody is back doing good things, and I'm glad that he is not this. If you haven't watched his documentary, he talks a lot about old Stardust and all of his stuff, which is pretty interesting and pretty good. So I got a figure of it, which is pretty neat. Oh, well, heck. It's a bone cruncher, but no, it's not a bone cruncher. This is like a twirly whirly. Wow, look at that. This is dancing. Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid. I would have thought in the face that was Triple H until I saw the bottoms with the Heartbreak Kid and whatnot. So, Disco, Shawn Michaels. Yeah, baby. There he is. We got a rattled Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm telling you, I don't have a real good figure of Stone Cold Steve Austin. But man, they do not do him very well in these molds. I don't think that's a very good mold. Now it looks better on that camera than it does this, but he's kind of got big chested out. Kind of looks like he's getting ready to take off and fly, but it's a Stone Cold figure. Shawn does wish he could dance like that. I promise you he does. Yep. 3 more. This is an Undertaker. He's got like pink, purple tattoos, which there are a lot of them on there. Kind of detailed as well. It's pretty good looking. I mean, the figure looks like crap, but he could choke him. Pretty tall too. He kind of looks like a rock star right there. Get him a little microphone and kind of a neat little taker. You have some chairs. Got a WrestleMania chair and just a normal chair. That's kind of neat. Then we got Goldberg, and Goldberg came with some bling. I have to say it about Goldberg. This is a cool Goldberg figure. I do think it looks like him. That was here recently, Trunks. He came with the Universal Championship when he won it. So the championship belts are pretty cool. They've got it to where they're adjustable. It's a 4-pegger. I do like that fact that it's not built just to the figure that it's with, that kids can actually play with these, or adults that collect them can interchange them and make a champion of who they want and all that good stuff. But there's Goldberg as a champion. And then last but not least, my favorite out of the whole lot, except for the Macho Man Wrestling Buddy that I got. And I got to do some cleaning up on him, but I got to read up on how to clean him. We come with a flag. I dig it. If you know your history, you should know who he is already. Ho! Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Look at that face. Only a mother could love. Holy rip. Now, I'm going to say I had this t-shirt when I was a kid. Bought it from the magazine. It's one of my favorite vintage t-shirts that ever were around. I love that Hacksaw Jim Duggan t-shirt. I love that he's in his USA traditional wrestling gear. So this is after the fact of Duggan. He's kind of not the black trunks, and I got to get a 2x4 for him, but he does hold the flag, which is pretty cool. He's got the tongue out. I wish he had a thumb up, giving the kind of doing that. But that was my favorite figure in the whole lot. It really is going to be fun to clean him up, and I hope he displays. I hope I can get him to stand, and he stands. Look at that. I hope I can just really get him cleaned up because I love Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I'm going to have, it looks like his hand is cupped in a C like that to where it would get a 2x4 in his hand. So I'm going to have to look and try to get one of those. That is true that he was a Canadian. He was just trying to take all of North America away. He needed to get the love there, Paul, from the top, the middle, and the bottom here. All right, so that is my 127 yard sale lot. It's, at least I got something. It was slim pickings. A lot of dealers and stuff. It's kind of hard to actually find the deals, but the more and more you go out, the more and more you get them. That's it. Next year we'll plan it. Hopefully get some more stuff. Hopefully yard sale season is still into the world here in the States. So hopefully there's a few more treasures to be found. But coming up this week on the channel, I can't remember which one I'm doing. I did the top 10 G.I. Joe figures. That's out there. I'm gonna either do the top 10 Cobra, or I'm going to just keep it Joe, and I'm going to do the top 10 worst. Paul, can you guess who my number 1 worst figure of G.I. Joe is? I bet you could. I haven't decided on which one to go with. Since I did G.I. Joe best, I think I'm going to keep them and do the factions together, and then in the next 2 weeks, do the best Cobra figures, and then the worst Cobra. Ding, 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 my friend. Ding, ding, ding. I got the list down here. It's kind of fun because I go through. This is my G.I. Joe collector's book that I've had. When did this come out? 2001, I think. Maybe not even then. 2005. So I remember buying this at a Barnes and Noble in 2005. It was an outrageous. It was like $40, but the pictures in it and everything were just so good. But I've collected and I've done so much that I've got pages that are coming out that I try to keep. G.I. Joe is one of those to where they've got so many accessories and little things that you really have to have something like this to do. So I do think I'm going to probably do that way. I'm going to give the worst to G.I. Joe, and then I'll bring in the Cobra at the rear of it, and then we're going to move on to the next franchise. So that's what's coming up. Paul, I hope you and Trish have a fantastic afternoon. I'm going to go and enjoy the rain that's happening outside and get some stuff done indoors here. Until then, peace out, home skillets. Tell Trish I said hello. See y'all soon. Bye.